Sharla? That was good. I got to keep us on track here. Oof, sorry. There she is.
Hi there.
Sharla, can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
I can. I'm sorry, I went a little over there, so we'll try to add some time onto the end of your thing. But I was just reading about you on the internet. You are quite the go-getter, and I was just wondering who nominated you for the Smile leadership position that you hold.
Well, that would have been Dr. Smiley himself. So, yeah, Ken and I are
That's
in a
great. That's
mastermind
great.
together. So, yeah, I've gotten to know him and he's just lovely.
I really like what he's done. But this is your time. Tell us about all this amazing stuff you do because I just read it and I don't understand half of it.
Okay. Well, I was a trial lawyer for 30 plus years, almost 40. And I spent a lot of time in courtrooms all over the United States. I represented poor little corporate defendants who needed defending. I was on the defense side of civil litigation, products liability cases. And I had the opportunity to go into courtrooms all over the country and talk with normal human beings and explain to them what our position was. And I had really bad cases, and I was supposed to lose every single one of them because of the way that they were structured. And I had about a 60% win ratio. So that was enough to make me smile about my professional career. But when COVID came, it was time to do something different. And the different that I decided to do was to go back to my roots as an English major from college. I was a student at Southeastern Oklahoma State University, well known for Dennis Rodman and Reba McEntire. And I like to think myself, but other than that, so I started writing and I wrote a business book. And then I began to write children's books. And I am getting ready to publish children's book number 7 of the Frogville series. They are traditional fairy tales, and the main character is a girl. And it makes me smile and be happy to think that I can add something positive to the children's literature genre because I find from reading children's literature that a lot of contemporary works are dark. And there's a lot to be happy about in the world. There's a lot to be unhappy about. But I think that if you're looking for something positive, you'll find something positive. And I wanted to add something positive to the world. So that was the reason for the children's books. And they've been great fun. Everyone comes from a different literary tradition. So the first one's a real fairy tale. The second one is Arabian Nights. The third one is Irish fairy tales. The fourth one is Norse mythology. The fifth one is Beowulf. The sixth one is Alice in Wonderland. And the seventh one, soon to be out at the end of the month, Quest for the Lost Boys, is a blend of some traditional Greek myths and the Peter Pan story. So they've been great fun. It has made me smile to go back and read all of those original stories that I read as a child because I loved to read and I still like to read, but I've discovered I also like to write. So that's been great fun. Does that answer your
Nice.
question?
It sure does. Can you hear me?
I can. And I have sitting in my
Yeah.
lap other reasons that makes me smile. I have ranch property in Oklahoma and we have a clouder of cats. We have a ton of kitties and my grandpa cat, Mr. Kirby, is here helping me today. Everybody loves Kirby. All the other cats like him. So he helps me.
Wonderful. Awesome. Keep going. Love the story.
Okay, I was gonna say, what else can I tell you? It is a beautiful autumn day here in Oklahoma. The weather is nice, the sun is shining. That's something that should make everyone smile. And the beauties of being in small town America, unlike the big city, because I also spend time in Houston where I practiced law for so long. In small town America, you run into people you know. So I had lunch today with a a high school contemporary and ran into a cousin and his best friend from elementary school. And the nice older man who knew my parents and used to run the Sears store in town gave me a holler out because he had seen the note about my upcoming book. So I got to say hello to him and get a hug from him. And then I went to buy groceries and ran into the sister of the mother of my best friend from first grade. And it's connections in life that really make a difference. And the business books that I wrote are in large part about connections because no matter what you do in life, it is the people you know and those who know you that make a difference in what it is that you're able to do. And I have been blessed during my lifetime to know a lot of marvelous people who have been very beneficial in all the things that I do. So, for example, today, I'm here on the Smile-A-Thon because I know Dr. Smiley. He and I are in a mastermind together. So we get to see each other several times during the year and learn about different aspects of business. Because I discovered when I left the practice of law that there's an entire world out there that I know nothing about. I always had someone to do my tech, and that doesn't make me smile. Those are things that I don't know a lot about, but I'm learning. And no matter what your age is, we are fortunate to live in a time and a society where you can continue to learn. And I think that should make everyone smile. It's part of what we do and part of our DNA in this country. So it's nice to be able to learn and continue to learn. And people have been very patient with me on the fact that there's a lot of this stuff that I don't have a background for. I was an English and speech major in college. I went to law school where I learned to use learning, speaking and writing. And then I transitioned into being a writer. None of that really prepared me for technology. So having people who are willing to teach and to support that is another thing that makes me smile. All of it's really good. But I suppose that the most enjoyable aspect of what I currently do, on occasion, I get to go to a school and talk to children about the children's books. And I had to laugh, something that made me laugh as opposed to smile. A friend of mine told me that the vocabulary in my books was way too complicated for young children. It's like, maybe for some, but not for all. And I have been gratified to go into classrooms and find that the kids really have a much better understanding and a greater vocabulary than I think we as adults give them credit for. So whether it's the second grade at Fort Towson Elementary School, where the kids were delightful and their teacher had already taught them about chapters and character development, and things that I don't think I knew until probably junior high school. So big difference there. And the kids were terrific. They gave me ideas for the next book. I wasn't able to put in a rocket launcher. Didn't really fit, but I was able to use bows and arrows and sword fights, which fit into their concept of the narrative. But they were fun. And then I taught to it was more than second graders, but not by a lot, at the local Hugo school here in Oklahoma. And the kids were terrific. The teacher had been reading one of the books to them. And so they had questions and suggestions and ideas. And I read part of it to them. And when I asked them about some of the more complicated words, almost all of them raised their hand and said, I know what that means. So that's been fun. And those are the sorts of things that make life good and should make anyone smile.
Well, you're making me smile. I love it. Your smile is gorgeous. You have a nice glow. Your voice is wonderful. I can see where you're doing the speech coach thing and all that. Um, it's just wonderful to have you on the show, and I'm so excited for you. I don't know where you're headed, but you're going places. You've already gone a lot of places, and I love being in the high schools. I think that's in the elementary schools, any school at all, where they know they have hope.
Yeah. Well, and I also have done some local presentations for it's not a GED class, but it's for students who, for one reason or another, haven't finished traditional school and are doing a program to get a GED, technical training, and some other background. And those kids, of course, are older. They are 18 to 24, and that sounds really young to me these days. And they were amazing. They had really insightful questions. They had useful observations. They were very attentive. And that gives me hope for that generation that people often write off. These are great young people, and they make me smile. And they should make the rest of us smile because they provide us hope for what comes next. And they are much more discerning than we give them credit for. And it's sort of like those little second graders that know a whole lot more about language because they watch television and they watch YouTube and they hear adults talk all the time. So they know a lot more about vocabulary than I did at that age. Those 18 to 24-year-olds who are getting their life back on track and doing a very good job of it, they give me hope. They should give all of us hope and they should make all of us smile.
Oh man, this has been a great interview. I didn't have to do nothing. It came out fabulous. I
Thank you
think
for
I
the
think
time.
you're welcome. Let me see to start my video. So I get to see you. We get to be split screen here one more time. Well,
All right.
just wonderful. Oklahoma, all that stuff. Just great having you, Sharla. And I hope to run into you in the near future. And how do people
Likewise.
get a hold of you? I got to ask you that. How do
Oh,
people get a hold of you?
yeah. They can find me at charlafrost.com or charlajfrostspeaker.com because I have a general website, which is all about all the random stuff I do because I have adult ADD. And then for speaking issues, I have a speaking website that includes a speaker reel and information about the topics that I talk about.
Perfect. Perfect. Glad to have met you.
Likewise, thank you so much for your time.
Yes, ma'am.